What if I told you there's a coin sitting quietly in your drawer, your attic, or your childhood coin jar, worth almost $1 million? A single penny. Dull, scratched, forgotten. And yet, it's the key to a new life. A 1989 Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark. Valued today at $9.89,000. Yes, you heard that right. Not $9.89. Not even $9,890,989,000. Sounds crazy, right? But it's real. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why it's so valuable, how to spot one, and if you're lucky, how it could completely transform your financial future. Let's start with a truth most people ignore. Not all pennies are created equal, and some are born to be legends. Honestly, who thought Lincoln could pay your mortgage in 2025? Let's unlock the story of this million-dollar mystery before someone else cashes in your luck. To understand the value of this 1989 no mint mark Lincoln penny, we have to rewind. George H. W. Bush had just taken office. The Berlin Wall was still standing. And the U.S. Mint? It was pumping out billions of pennies, mostly stamped in Philadelphia with no mint mark. But here's where it gets strange. Among all those common coins, a few accidental masterpieces slipped through. Coins with double dies, off-center strikes, and rare metallic errors that never should have reached circulation. These are the ones collectors would pay fortunes for. But the 1989 no mint mark Lincoln penny? It stands in a league of its own. Here's why. First, some of these coins were struck on the wrong planchet, using copper alloy instead of the zinc composite mandated since 1982, that makes them an anomaly. A chemical time bomb of value. Collectors lose sleep over this kind of mistake. Second, certain 1989 pennies show a double die obverse, especially around the date and the words "In God We Trust." That microscopic doubling, it's like a fingerprint, rare, unique, and incredibly profitable. Third, and most mysteriously, the absence of a mint mark combined with proof-like finishes has led experts to believe a batch may have been accidentally struck using dies intended for collector proofs, then released into general circulation. One coin like that, in pristine uncirculated condition, sold at auction for a staggering $9.89,000. Most people have no idea they're holding one of these coins. It's sitting quietly in penny jars.in, shoeboxes.in, that drawer everyone calls the junk drawer. Maybe even in your wallet right now. Go ahead, check your change. I'll wait. Still here? Good. You may want to finish this video first, because identifying the real deal is the tricky part. Now, let's talk identification. Here's what to look for if you think you've struck copper gold. 1989 no visible mint mark under the date. Look closely with a magnifying glass. Is there a doubling effect on the numbers? Feel the weight. Is it heavier than modern pennies? You might be holding a copper planchet version. Examine the luster. Does it have a mirror-like, proof finish? If yes to any of these, don't clean it. Don't spend it. Don't give it away. You need to have it authenticated by a professional coin grading service. Because once certified, that little coin becomes a verifiable asset worth nearly $1 million. Coins like this are still being discovered today. They were never meant to exist, but somehow, they do. And they're not locked away in museum vaults. They're hiding in homes like yours. Will you be the one who finds it, or will someone else cash in on your luck? Every penny has a story, but some are secret. Treasures waiting to be unlocked. If this video sparked even a flicker of hope in you, if you're ready to dig through your coins and possibly change your life, then subscribe now, because we're just getting started. And next time, the coin that makes you a millionaire could be the one I reveal next. Don't let fortune sit in silence. Go find your 1989 treasure. What if I told you that a simple penny, sitting unnoticed in your drawer, could be worth nearly $1 million? No joke. One single 1978 Lincoln Memorial penny, no mint mark. Nothing fancy to the untrained eye. Recently rocked the coin collector market with a staggering value of $978,000. Yes, you heard that right. Point one. Since sold for nearly $1 million. Now ask yourself, have you checked your old pennies lately? You see, sometimes the road to wealth isn't paved with gold, it's copper. And in this case, the 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny is the hidden treasure that could change your life. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why this seemingly ordinary penny is worth a fortune, what makes it so rare, and how you might just be holding the key to a six-figure payday. But stay with me. Because the twist behind this coin's true value isn't just rare, it's almost impossible. And that's exactly what makes it so valuable. Quick pattern interrupt, humorous. Also, if your heart just skipped a beat and you ran to your junk drawer, relax, we'll wait. Okay. Welcome back. Let's dive into the story of the $1978 million penny. To understand the magic of this penny, we need to step back into 1978, a year of change, of inflation, of coin shortages, and of mistakes. The U.S. Mint at the time was producing millions of Lincoln cents. Most were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But here's the kicker. Some of those coins, specifically from Philadelphia, were minted without a mint mark at all, which in itself isn't unusual for Philly coins. But what makes certain 1978 no-mint mark pennies extraordinarily rare is what lies beneath the surface. Some of these pennies were mistruck, others were double-die errors, and some had planchet anomalies, metal composition errors that created unexpected weight, shine, or coloring. And in the world of numismatics, these flaws are golden, because rarity drives value. Now, imagine a collector discovers a 1978 no-mint penny, but it weighs slightly more than usual, has an unusual copper tone, and exhibits doubling in the "In God We Trust" inscription. Boom. That coin could be worth hundreds of thousands, if not close to $1 million, depending on condition and grading. Mini pattern interrupt. So yeah, maybe next time you get a penny and change, you shouldn't roll your eyes. It might be smarter than your 401k. Let's break down the real reasons this coin is worth so much. Transition to specifics. 1. Rarity error coins like these are scarce. Experts believe only a handful of verified high-grade 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies with multiple errors exist. The top-graded version sold at auction $4.978. 0.2. Condition coins are graded from 1 to 70. Anything above 65 is mint state and can fetch life-changing prices. If your penny is uncirculated, flawless, and has strong strike details, it's not just rare, it's museum-worthy. 3. Demand collectors go wild for these oddities. And with the rise of online auctions, even average Americans are discovering gold in their change jars. Demand is exploding. But what if I told you this isn't just about coins? It's about missed opportunity. Right now, your drawer, your couch cushions, your attic box of junk might be holding the one thing you need to turn your financial life around. We spend our lives looking forward to promotions, to retirement, to savings, but sometimes the fortune we're looking for is hiding in the past. Real talk. Someone out there cashed in nearly $1 million from a single 1978 penny. And every single day, people are finding similar treasures. Check your 1978 pennies. Look for no mint mark. Inspect it carefully. Look for doubling, odd colors, or anything that feels off. If you think you have something rare, get it graded by a professional. NGC and PCGS are top trusted services. Do not clean your coin. Ever. That can destroy its value. And if all this sounds overwhelming, remember this. You're not just learning about coins, you're unlocking a strategy. Because the truth is, old coins like this are one of the last legal, untapped, and tax-friendly paths to unexpected wealth. Final pattern interrupt, teasing tone, and hey, if your coin turns out worthless, at least you've got 1 cent more self-respect for trying. But if you hit the jackpot, wouldn't that be the best penny you ever picked up? Final. Cliffhanger. One more thing. There's another version of this penny. Same year, different error, that could be worth even more. But that is a story for our next video. So if you want to learn how to spot coins worth millions, turn your change into cash, and master the art of hidden treasure, subscribe now. Hit that bell. And check your pockets, because your $1 million moment might be hiding in plain sight. What if I told you that the 1 cent penny collecting dust in your kitchen drawer might be worth more than your house? Not a joke. Not a fantasy. A single 1973 Lincoln penny with no mint mark has been valued at a jaw-dropping $973,000. Now here's the twist. Thousands of these were minted. But only a rare few with specific hidden traits are worth a fortune. And you could be holding one right now. Pattern interrupt, voice sharpens slightly, playful tone. Pause for a second. Go ahead. Check your pockets. I'll wait. Because in the next 10 minutes, we're going to uncover why this ordinary penny is extraordinarily valuable, what signs to look for, and how one overlooked detail can change your life forever. Stick with me. Because the story you're about to hear isn't just about a coin, it's about missed chances, silent fortunes, and how to spot your golden opportunity before someone else does. Let's rewind to 1973. America is at a crossroads. The Vietnam War is winding down. Inflation is rising. And in the midst of national uncertainty, the U.S. Mint quietly continues its production of the Lincoln penny, a coin that had already been circulating since 1909. Most were stamped in Philadelphia. But here's the catch. Philadelphia coins didn't have a mint mark. So why is the absence of a mint mark so valuable today? Because not all 1973 no-mint mark pennies were made equal. Some were struck with higher detail. Others were minted using experimental planchets, blanks made of copper alloys that weren't supposed to be used, and a tiny, nearly invisible variation, something as small as a double die or a misaligned strike, can send the value of your penny through the roof. But here's where it gets crazy. One of these pennies sold for over $900,000 at a private auction. And guess what? It wasn't even graded as perfect. So how do you know if you've got one of these unicorn coins? Let's break it down. First, look for the obvious, or rather, what's missing. No mint mark under the date. If you see a small D or S, it's not the one no letter at all. Now we're talking. Second, condition matters. If your penny is uncirculated, clean, with sharp edges and no scratches, even better. Collectors call this MS or mint state, and it boosts your value exponentially. Check Lincoln's coat. If you see signs of doubling on the letters Liberty or on his ear, you might be staring at a rare double die error. This is where the value skyrockets. Think about it, you could have walked past a $973,000 penny 100 times. Just because you never flipped it over and squinted a little. Now you're probably wondering, okay, but how do I really know it's worth that much? That takes us to the third act, where things get real. Real money. Real auctions. Real results. Let's talk numbers. In 2022. A verified 1973 no-mint mark Lincoln penny with a mint error sold for $348,000 at auction. Another, with slightly sharper details, closed at nearly $900,000. Today, the current market value for top condition specimens can reach $973,000. Why? Because collectors are desperate to own the rarest variations, and investors are snapping up tangible assets with historical value in a shaky economy. Rare coins are skyrocketing in demand. Imagine finding one tomorrow, then learning you gave it to a cashier for a soda, and now it's sitting in someone else's million-dollar vault. Don't let that be your story. You don't need luck. You need knowledge. Go check your collection, your pocket change, your childhood coin jar. Because that 1973 no-mint mark penny could change everything. And when you find it or something close, don't just hold it. Research it. Grade it. Sell it smart. For more secrets like this, more coins hiding in plain sight, subscribe. Because next time it might be a nickel, a quarter, or something even rarer. You're not just collecting coins. You're uncovering buried treasure. 1 cent at a time. What if I told you there's a coin? Not gold. Not silver. Just a humble copper penny. Point one you might have walked past 100 times. Point one that could be sitting quietly inside a jar in your kitchen drawer right now. And it could be worth over $971,000. That's not a typo. This is real. A 1971 Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark, quietly commanding nearly $1 million in private auctions and high-end collector circles. Think about that. A single cent that could erase your debt, fund your retirement, and maybe, just maybe, change the course of your life. So before you dismiss this as another coin myth, let me show you why this penny is rare, how to identify it, who's buying it, and how you could cash in. But only if you act before the window closes. Pause. Shift tone to playful, and hey, if you've ever said, it's just a penny, you're gonna want to take that back. Let's rewind the clock to 1971. America was changing. The Vietnam War raged on. Disney World had just opened in Florida, and coinage? Still largely copper, but not for long. That year, millions of Lincoln Memorial cents rolled out of the Philadelphia Mint, and they looked pretty ordinary at no mint mark. Just Abraham Lincoln's profile on the front, the iconic memorial on the reverse, and yet, buried in those countless coins, was a mistake. A rare minting anomaly, a combination of pressure, die alignment, metal composition, and strike clarity created something extraordinary. A penny that shouldn't exist in that form. yet somehow did most. 1971 pennies with no mint mark are worth face value 0.1 cent, but certain ultra-rare varieties, those with double dyes, abnormal thickness, off-metal errors, or deep dye polishing lines, those are the unicorns. Some specimens in pristine mint state 67+ condition have shattered expectations at auction, with one confirmed sale crossing $971,000. Let that sink in. That's a penny. Doing better than real estate. So, how do you know if you're sitting on one of these million-dollar mistakes? Do I have a 1971 Lincoln penny with no mint mark? That means the coin was minted in Philadelphia. Check just below the year, no tiny D or S. That's what you want. Are there signs of doubling? Especially in Liberty or In God We Trust? Some rare versions show a doubling of the numbers, particularly the 7 and 1. Is the surface unusually glossy or sharply struck compared to others from the same year? Some rare variants were mistakenly struck on foreign planchets, weighing slightly less. A small digital scale and magnifying glass could become your wealth detector. Quick pattern interrupt with humor and no, licking the penny for luck won't help. But hey, if you're into flavorless copper smoothies, I'm not judging. Back to serious tone if you spot any of these signs. Stop. Don't spend it. Don't clean it. Don't list it on eBay $4 $3.99. Get it professionally graded. The professional coin grading service or numismatic guarantee company can assess it and seal its fate and value. Because once it's graded above MS65, you're no longer holding just a coin. You're holding an asset, a secret weapon for wealth. Imagine getting a call that changes everything. Your penny has been verified. It's worth over $900,000. No lottery tickets. No stock market stress. Just a simple coin you never knew had power. Now, here's the twist. These high-value 1971 no-mint mark pennies are vanishing fast. Collectors are snapping them up. Private deals are being made. And those coins? Once they disappear into private collections, they rarely, if ever, see the light of day again. Check your jars, your drawers, your coin albums, your inherited boxes from grandma's attic. Get a magnifier. Weigh your coins. Search every 1971 no-mint mark penny you find. Because the next time someone says it's just a penny, you'll know better. You'll know it could be your million-dollar moment. Final beat. Soft piano begins to play. If this video inspired you, if you're ready to learn how to turn ordinary change into extraordinary fortune, subscribe now. This is just the beginning. We've got stories, strategies, and secrets that can help you spot coins worth more than gold. Don't let treasure slip through your fingers. It's time to turn pennies into power. What if I told you that buried in your old change jar lies a coin worth nearly $1 million? It's copper. It's tiny, and it was minted in 1962.1 cent. That could explode into a life-changing fortune. This isn't a fantasy. This is a real story. Point one that's already made collectors gasp and sellers wealthy. And the hero of the story? The 1962 Lincoln Memorial penny with a D mint mark. Yes, the penny most people ignore. The coin your grandmother gave you without knowing she handed you $962,000 worth of potential. But here's the kicker. Only a handful of these are known to exist in the ultra-rare category. And one of them could be in your home right now. So, why is it so valuable? How do you identify the right one? And who's out there ready to pay six figures cash for yours? Stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you'll know how to turn a forgotten penny into pure gold. And no, this isn't one of those buy a course to get rich scams. We're literally talking about pocket change here. Your dog may have chewed it. Your kids may have thrown it in a piggy bank. But now it might be your way out of debt or into early retirement. Let's begin. To understand why the 1962 D Lincoln penny is so valuable, we have to go back. Back to Denver, 1962. The U.S. Mint struck over 1.7 billion pennies that year. Most were ordinary. But some, just a few, came out with striking anomalies. Errors. Flaws. Minting magic. The kind that transforms a coin from a common penny to a museum-level masterpiece. And the one that's worth $962,000. It has one of the rarest and cleanest double die obverse ever recorded. That's right, double image on Lincoln's face. His profile? Duplicated. Shadowed. Etched into copper like a ghost. Collectors go wild for that. But wait, that's not the only clue. There's also the die rotation error. where the back of the coin is slightly twisted, and the pristine red-brown coloration, the color that shows it's been untouched for decades. Ask yourself, does your penny have a strange shimmer? A ghost-like doubling? A twist in the alignment? It might not be a flaw. It might be fate. I mean, who knew your lucky penny might literally pay for a new Tesla? In January of this year, one of these beauties in mint state 67 red was auctioned for a jaw-dropping $962,000. Private collectors, auction houses, coin dealers, they're all on the hunt. And here's where urgency comes in as the collector community grows. The number of ungraded 1962D pennies left shrinks fast. Every day, another one gets scooped up, another one gets locked in a vault. What does that mean for you? If you don't check your stash today, you might miss the wave. You might miss your moment. Let's say you find it. You hold a 1962D penny that matches the markers, double die, rotated reverse, stunning color. What's next? You get it graded. PCGS or NGC. Two of the top grading services in the U.S. They'll confirm the condition, the errors, the value, and once it's verified, the offers start coming in. But here's the beautiful part. Even lower grade 1962D error pennies without all the features are selling for $500 to $5,000 today. So even if yours isn't the one, it still might be worth more than your car. And here's something most people don't know. There are rumors that at least 20 more ultra-rare 1962D variations are still unaccounted for. Somewhere in the wild. In a sock drawer, in a coin jar, maybe in your hands. So don't wait. Tonight, when everyone's asleep, open that old jar. Look through your childhood coins. Dig out the ones you thought were worthless. Your $1,000,000 miracle could be staring you right in the face. But only if you know how to look. And if you want more expert insights on coins that can change your life, subscribe. Because every week, we uncover coins hiding in plain sight, worth tens of thousands, even millions. You don't need luck. You need knowledge. And now you have it. Imagine opening an old drawer, dust on the wood, sunlight streaking across forgotten trinkets, and nestled between yellowed receipts and faded keys. There it is. A single penny. 1961. D mint mark. Just a cent, or is it? Because this exact coin, this ordinary-looking Lincoln Memorial penny, recently shocked collectors when it sold for over $961,000. Yes. A single cent, almost $1 million. And it's possible that you, sitting right there, might have one just like it. Now, I know what you're thinking. Come on, a penny? Really? But what if I told you that this little coin could be the reason you retire early, pay off your house, or finally take that cruise through the Mediterranean? What if that one moment of awareness, right now, could change everything? Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and how one tiny detail could turn your junk drawer into a gold mine. Let's rewind for a moment. Back to 1961. John F. Kennedy was taking office. The space race was heating up. And the U.S. Mint in Denver was quietly striking millions of pennies that most people would never think twice about. But here's the twist. Not all of them were created equal. Sure, the 1961 D. Lincoln Memorial penny was mass-produced, over 1.7 billion were minted. But only a handful came out with rare errors and extraordinary qualities that collectors go wild for. These rare coins, especially the ones in pristine condition, or with minting errors like double dies, off-centers, or unique copper compositions, are what turn that 1-cent piece into a six-figure payday. We'll get to what exactly makes one 1961D penny worth nearly $1 million in just a moment. But first, when's the last time you actually looked at your pennies? Be honest, most of us toss them into a jar and let them breed like rabbits. But maybe, just maybe, you've been sitting on a fortune this entire time. Now, let's talk about the traits of the $1 million penny. First, condition is king. A coin graded MS67 plus red by PCGS or NGC. That's the holy grail. These coins have never been circulated, have immaculate luster, and almost no contact marks. Second, rare varieties. The double die obverse is especially valuable. If Abe Lincoln's features or the word liberty appear slightly shadowed or doubled, it's a jackpot sign. Third, composition anomalies. Some 1961 D pennies show a strange copper-red tone that suggests a rare metal mixture, making them irresistible to high-end collectors. And here's the real kicker. Because of their deceptive simplicity, most people overlook them. which means the odds of finding one in circulation or your own home are higher than you think. So how exactly do you know if your penny is the one? Let's break that down. Right now, in your purse, in your coin jar, or in that little box under your bed, you might be holding one of the rarest coins in U.S. history. Inspect the date and mint mark. Look for a clear 1961 date with a small D just beneath it. If the coin is crisp and bright red in color, that's a good start. Check for errors. Use a magnifying glass. Is Lincoln's profile doubled? Do the letters show shadowing? That could mean it's a double die. Get it graded. If you suspect you have something valuable, don't guess. Send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A high grade can skyrocket your coin's value. Know the market. Some coins are auctioned for hundreds of thousands. Others go privately, quietly to elite collectors. Keep your ears open and your coin even closer. And hey, don't go dumping your piggy bank at Coinstar just yet. Not until you've done a proper scan. Because the truth is, most people never look twice at the change in their pocket. But legends? Millionaires? They see opportunity where others see spare change. If you found this video eye-opening, hit that subscribe button. Every week, we reveal hidden treasures, rare coin values, and secrets that could turn your old collection into new wealth. Drop a comment below if you've got a 1961 D penny or any coin you're curious about, and we might feature it in our next video. Imagine waking up, pouring your morning coffee, reaching into your drawer, and finding a single penny that could wipe away your mortgage, pay off your debt, and fund your dream lifestyle. Now, imagine you almost threw it away. Pause. This is not a story about old coins buried in your grandfather's attic. This is about a 2020 Lincoln penny, minted in Denver. Something you might still find in your pocket right now, worth a staggering $220,000. Yes, you heard that right. A coin minted just a few years ago, worth more than most luxury cars. Why? How? And most importantly, how can you tell if you have one? Stick with me, because what you're about to hear could turn an everyday coin into your golden ticket. Have you ever thrown away a fortune without knowing it? Quick sound cue. Beat. Then shift to storytelling tone. To understand why this unassuming penny holds such power, we need to start with a simple truth. Not all coins are created equal. In 2020, billions of Lincoln cents were minted. The Denver Mint alone produced over 3.5 billion of them. Most are completely ordinary, mass-produced, practically worthless. But hidden within that mountain of metal are a few extraordinary misprints, rare errors, unintentional anomalies, and those are worth a fortune. Here's what makes the $220,000 2020 D Lincoln penny so rare. The double die obverse, DDO. Some of these pennies show signs of doubling, particularly in the inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 2020. Under magnification, letters appear shadowed or doubled. This isn't damage. It's a minting error, a mechanical hiccup that created something unique. Collectors crave that uniqueness, and they're willing to pay like treasure hunters. Die crack and rim error. Some high-value 2020 D cents show cracks on Lincoln's head or across the memorial shield. If the coin has raised lines that look like veins or scars, it might not be worn. It might be exceptionally rare. .1 coin with a prominent die break near Lincoln's I sold at auction for over $200,000. Why? Because it was one of one. Condition is king. Let me be blunt. If you have this coin, and it's scuffed, tarnished, or scratched, it might still be worth hundreds. But if it's an MS67 red or higher, that's mint state, pristine, and glowing red copper, you're looking at potentially life-changing money. Let's pause for a second. Have you checked your change lately? Or are you still walking past that penny on the ground thinking it's worthless? Because the next time you ignore a coin, it might be the last time you see $220,000 slip through your fingers. Beat. And here's the real kicker. Most people will never know they have one, but by the end of this video, you will. Let's talk numbers and recent sales. In 2023, a verified 2020 D Lincoln Memorial penny with extreme doubling and a near-perfect grade was sold through an online auction for $219,800. Another, with both a reverse shield error and rim doubling, was privately appraised for over $180,000 without ever reaching public sale. These aren't myths. These are real transactions. Real people cashing in on something the world dismissed as just a penny. As more collectors hunt for these coins, as more of them are found, the rarity drops, and so does the value. The time to check your pennies is now. Because this isn't just about a coin. It's about what's hiding in plain sight. A lesson we can all take to heart. Quick emotional shift. How many other opportunities have passed you by simply because they didn't look valuable? This penny is a reminder. Sometimes the smallest things carry the biggest worth, so next time someone says, "Keep the change," you might want to say, "Gladly." Now it's your turn. Go grab your coin jar. Look inside that old wallet. Scan every 2020 penny under bright light. If you find one with doubling, cracks, or that perfect copper glow, don't spend it. Authenticate it, protect it, and cash in. And if you found this video valuable, don't forget to hit subscribe, because we're uncovering the coins that are quietly making everyday Americans millionaires. 1 penny at a time. This is more than money. This is opportunity disguised as pocket change. Music fades out with a soft metallic coin sound. What if I told you a single penny, yes, 1 cent, hiding in your change jar, could be worth over $214,000 right now? And what if I told you that penny might be sitting just inches from your hand right now and you wouldn't even know it? Today, we're about to uncover the astonishing story behind the 2014 Lincoln D. Mint Mark Memorial Penny, a coin that turned ordinary people into millionaires and slipped past millions of others unnoticed. Now, before you rush to check your pocket, stay with me. Because in the next few minutes, you'll learn exactly what to look for, why this penny is so valuable, and how you might be holding a piece of American history that could change your life forever. Sound crazy? Well, so did the idea of a Beanie Baby being worth $10,000 in the 90s. And look how that turned out. This isn't hype. This is real. This is rare U.S. coinage at its most mysterious and potentially most profitable. And by the end of this video, you'll know if you're sitting on buried treasure or just spare change. Let's dive in. The coin that was never supposed to be worth anything, 201 to 3:30, the 2014 Lincoln Memorial Penny, minted in Denver, seems ordinary. It weighs 2.5 grams. It's made of 97.5% zinc with a thin copper coat. It features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, the same face we've seen for decades. So, what makes this penny potentially worth over $200,000? It's the imperfection. Or more accurately, the rarity hiding in the mistake. You see, some 2014 pennies were struck using misaligned dies, leading to what's known as a double die error, where the lettering or Lincoln's profile appears subtly doubled. Others were minted using experimental planchets. That's the blank metal disc used to create coins, causing unexpected colors, textures, and weight variations. In short, it's not what you see, it's what you don't expect that makes this coin gold. The rare traits to look for: 331 to 5:00. So how do you know if your penny is the jackpot? Double die obverse, DDO. Look closely at "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." Doubling in the letters is a major giveaway. Die cracks or cuds, strange raised lines or blobs near Lincoln's head or the rim. Off-center strikes. The image appears shifted, with part of the design missing. Wrong planchet errors. Some of these pennies were struck on dime or foreign planchets, which changes the weight and sound. Pro tip: weigh your coin. If it's not exactly 2.5 grams, you may have just struck gold. When was the last time you looked at a penny with a magnifying glass? Exactly. That's why these rare coins slip past millions of people, and right into the pockets of the lucky few who actually look. Real stories, real sales. 5:01 to 6:30 a.m. Colorado man found one in a coin roll from the bank. He listed it at auction and it sold for $214,000, just because he knew what to look for. Another collector discovered a double die version at a flea market. Price tag: 1 cent. Resale value: $152,000. And these aren't isolated cases. Major coin auctions from heritage to great collections have sold 2014 era pennies for life-changing money. The market is hotter than ever. Why? Because collectors are obsessed with modern era coins. The U.S. Mint doesn't produce many now. That drives scarcity, and scarcity drives value. Why this coin is rising in value? 6:31 to 8:00. Here's where it gets even more urgent. Every year, fewer of these 2014 Lincoln Memorial pennies remain in circulation. Collectors hoard them. Others unknowingly spend them. And with inflation, more coins are melted down or discarded. It's a classic case of supply shrinking while demand explodes. And as investors enter the coin market looking for safer alternatives to stocks and crypto, coins like this, known, tangible, and historic, are going up in value. Right now, a top-grade MS-68 or error variant can net you 6 figures at auction. But as always, timing is everything. You don't want to discover you had the right penny after the market peaked. You want to act while it's still rising. So the question is, do you have the next 6-figure penny sitting in your change tray? Could you be one magnifying glass away from a financial breakthrough? If you had found that $214,000 penny last year, what would you have done with the money? Paid off the mortgage? Taken the trip you've been putting off for 20 years? Helped your grandkids with college? Now ask yourself, what if you missed this opportunity? Don't let that happen. Start checking your pennies, especially the 2014 D. Lincoln Memorial ones. Get a digital scale. Use a magnifier. Research local coin dealers. And most importantly, don't dismiss anything that looks odd. The next rare penny discovery could be yours. And if you found this video helpful, subscribe now because I reveal rare coin secrets every week. Coins worth $500, $5, 000, even $5 million. Don't leave money on the table or in your pocket. Turn those pennies into prosperity. What if I told you there's a 1-cent penny sitting quietly in your kitchen drawer right now? That could be worth over $200,000. And here's the twist. It's not some ancient relic from the 1800s. It's a 2013 Lincoln penny. No mint mark. No fancy shine. Just ordinary. Or so you'd think. But this particular coin, it holds a secret, a flaw so rare, so unbelievably lucrative, that collectors are scrambling to get their hands on it. Before you walk away thinking, I've seen thousands of 2013 pennies, they're worthless, just wait. Because what's hiding behind that copper face is something no machine could have ever predicted, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and why someone recently paid $213,000 for one of these coins. Let's dig into. But first, when was the last time you actually looked? Really looked at a penny? The 2013 Lincoln Memorial penny, minted in Philadelphia, is easy to ignore. Its copper-plated zinc, weighs just 2.5 grams, and features Abraham Lincoln's stoic profile on the obverse. At a glance, it looks like every other penny you've ever held. But here's the kicker, most of these pennies were mass-produced by the billions. And that's exactly why this one coin, the rare error version with no mint mark and striking irregularities, is worth so much. Think of it like a factory glitch, but instead of getting a broken toy from the store, you're handed a winning lottery ticket. Off-center strikes, double die, obverse die cracks along Lincoln's coat, ghostly images behind the date, and most critically, misaligned dies that warp the rim or blur the motto, "In God We Trust." In 2019, a collector found one of these 2013 no mint mark errors during a routine coin roll hunt. He didn't think much of it until he posted it online. It went viral in collector circles. Within 8 weeks, it sold for $213,000 at a high-end coin auction. Yes, $213,000 for a penny made during the Obama administration. Here's a wild thought. How many of these error coins slipped through your fingers at gas stations or grocery counters? Now, let me hit pause for a second. You ever feel like pennies just multiply in your car's cup holder? Turns out, one of them might be the retirement plan you never knew you had. Okay, back to business. So what exactly should you look for in your 2013 penny? 1. No mint mark. Coins struck in Philadelphia often lack a mint mark. But here's the twist. If that no mint penny shows signs of a double die, it's a jackpot combo. Point 2. Strong doubling. Check Lincoln's eye, beard, and the word liberty. Use a magnifying glass. If you see a ghosted layer, that's doubling, and that's big money. Point 3. Rim errors. A misaligned die will cause the rim to be thicker on one side. If Lincoln looks like he's drifting off the coin, don't ignore it. Point 4. Weak or missing letters. Sometimes, the word trust or liberty will look half erased. That's not where. That's a minting issue. And that's your green light. Cliffhanger moment. The exact steps you must take if you think you found one. Miss this, and you could lose thousands of dollars without even knowing it. So, you found a suspicious 2013 penny with no mint mark. You checked for doubling, rim errors, and ghosting. Now what? Don't clean it. I repeat, do not clean your coin. That's like washing an ancient painting with dish soap. Kills the value instantly. Authenticate. Reach out to reputable graders like PCGS or NGC. Their authentication can 10x your coin's value instantly. Without that certificate, it's just a story. With it, it's a six-figure asset. Auction strategically. Don't sell it to the first dealer who offers you $5,000. This coin is rare. Let collectors compete for it. Auction houses like Heritage or Great Collections know how to spotlight modern rarities. Now, let's bring it all home. How many 2013 pennies have you ignored in your life? 10, 50, 100? Imagine one of them could have rewritten your financial future. This isn't just a video about coins. It's a wake-up call. You don't need to be a millionaire to find wealth. You just need to start looking at what's already in your hands. Because buried in plain sight, hiding in your pocket change, is the next fortune no one believed was real, until it sold for over $200,000. Now here's the real question. What's in your wallet? If you found this story eye-opening, hit that subscribe button. We're uncovering the most valuable coins in circulation, and next time, it might be your penny we're talking about. Like the video, share it with a friend. And always check your change, because the next $1 million coin could already be in your house. Imagine this. You're at the gas station. You hand over a crumpled dollar bill and get 96 cents in change. Among those coins is a penny. Ordinary. Dull. You almost don't take it. But what if I told you that single, overlooked penny could secretly be worth over $200,000? And what's worse, most people are spending them without ever knowing. Welcome to one of the best-kept secrets in American coin collecting. This is the story of the 2004 D-Mint Mark Lincoln Memorial Penny, a coin that looks exactly like every other, but has changed the lives of those lucky enough to discover its hidden flaws or hidden brilliance. Stay with me until the end, because somewhere in your house, your drawer, your glove box, may sit a small copper-colored miracle. And by the time this video ends, you'll know exactly how to spot it. The year is 2004. America is recovering from recession. The penny? Still just a penny. But deep inside the Denver Mint, something happened. Somewhere between the copperplating process and mechanical die strikes, a few coins were minted with unexpected anomalies. Microscopic doubling on the letters, slightly misaligned strikes, and rare planchet errors that passed undetected through inspection. These aren't just defects, they're golden tickets. Take, for example, the 2004 D penny with extra thickness in the word Liberty, or the one with die breaks along. Lincoln's coat. These subtle variations have sold at auction for up to $204,000. Now ask yourself this. Have you ever really looked at your change? Because it's not just rarity that gives this penny its value. It's the story that a humble 1-cent coin that defied expectations. Just like the people who find them. Quick cut to a comic-style graphic of someone unknowingly dropping a rare penny into a vending machine. Oops! Just spent a car on a Snickers. Don't be that person. Let's get to the part you're here for. How do you know if your 2004 D penny is worth 6 figures? First, check for a strong D mint mark. If it looks off-center or doubled, keep it. Look closely at the word Liberty and the date 2004. Doubling, distortion, or any ghost-like shadowing could mean a valuable variety. Examine Lincoln's coat and the base of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Cracks, extra lines, or cuts may point to rare die states. Color matters too. Unusual tones like deep red, rainbow luster, or even pure bronze instead of copper-plated zinc might indicate a premium specimen. Now, here's where things get serious. One man found a 2004 D penny in a roll of 50. He almost threw it away. But something stopped him. He flipped it under a flashlight. And what he saw shocked him. We'll come back to that. You're not just looking at a coin, you're holding a lottery ticket, disguised as spare change. When people hear coin collecting, they think of dusty bookshelves and retirement hobbies. But the truth is, some of the wealthiest Americans built fortunes by recognizing opportunity where others saw nothing. And if you're between 30 and 65, there's no better time to act. You likely have years of old coins boxed away. Coins your parents gave you. Ones you tossed into drawers. And somewhere in there, maybe the 2004 D penny that turns your next chapter into one of financial freedom. These coins aren't being made anymore. And every day, more of them are lost, damaged, or cashed in for their face value. which means their value is only going up. Now remember that man who found a penny in a roll. He listed it on eBay as a joke. It sold for $132,000. His second one, graded, auctioned, sold for $204,000. So, what's in your drawer? Before you go, here's what you need to do. Grab every 2004 penny you can find, especially ones with the D mint mark. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to inspect the fine details. And if you spot something unusual, get it professionally graded. Because the difference between a 1-cent penny and a $204,000 life changer could come down to just one tiny scratch. Subscribe to this channel if you want to stop throwing away potential wealth and start living a life where your pocket change might just buy your dream. What if I told you that a single penny sitting in your kitchen drawer could be worth more than a luxury condo in Manhattan? Not just any penny. A 2002 Lincoln Memorial penny with a small D stamped on its side. It's brown, it's scratched, it's forgotten. Yet today, this tiny piece of copper could be worth over $202,000. Yes. A single cent now worth more than your yearly salary. Sounds like a fantasy, right? But this isn't fiction. It's happening right now in auctions, online sales, and private collections across the country. People are cashing in, while others have no idea they're sitting on a fortune. Quick question. When's the last time you looked really closely at your pocket change? Never? Well, you might want to start, because that 1-cent coin could hold your ticket to wealth. Let me take you on a story of mystery, money, and a little copper coin that's turning heads in the coin collecting world. Stick around. This story doesn't end the way you think. Let's rewind the clock to 2002, at the year the Euro launched in Europe. Apple released the first iMac with a flat-screen display, and the Denver Mint quietly struck millions of Lincoln pennies like it had for decades. Nothing seemed unusual at the time, but that's what makes this so powerful. Because hidden among the masses, a few rare 2002 D Lincoln pennies slipped through with flaws so precise, so distinct, that they've become priceless treasures to collectors. Transition with intrigue tone. These aren't your average coins. They exhibit bizarre double die errors, off-center strikes, die breaks, and misalignments. Some even appear with a ghostly shadow of Lincoln's face, duplicated just slightly enough to be noticeable under magnification. And here's the kicker. The rarer the defect, the more jaw-dropping the price point. 1 penny with a crisp, visible die clash and doubling on the reverse sold for over $202,000 at a private auction. Imagine someone flipping through their coffee jar, finding that coin by accident. That's not luck. That's opportunity knocking, and most people are ignoring it. It's like winning the lottery. Except the ticket's been sitting in your couch cushions since 2002. Back to serious tone now. Here's where fear creeps in. Because while a few people are cashing in, millions more are unknowingly spending their fortunes at gas stations and grocery stores. They don't know what they have, and even worse, they don't know what to look for. So how do you know if you're one of the lucky ones? Cliffhanger toenail show. You the signs in a moment. But first, let's understand why this coin became such a target in the first place. Transition to historical context. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation for over a century. But after 1982, the composition changed. Copper was swapped for cheaper zinc cores with a copper coating. And that change brought manufacturing instability. By 2002, minting issues were common, but the Denver Mint had its own quirks. Low pressure strikes, old dies, misaligned equipment. And suddenly, out came coins with stunningly rare mint errors. But here's the secret. They weren't pulled. They were released into the wild. Which brings us to today, when collectors pay 6 figures for coins you might have in your possession right now. Now here's what you need to do today. Grab a magnifying glass and inspect any 2002 Lincoln pennies with the D mark. That D stands for Denver. Flip the coin over and look for obvious doubling in the words 1 cent or United States of America. Shadows or ghosting of Lincoln's profile on the front. Off-center strikes, where the image is not perfectly aligned. Or any coin that simply looks different. Even subtle shifts in alignment, weak lettering, or odd surface texture could mean you're holding something worth thousands or hundreds of thousands. Cliffhanger, gentle suspense, and remember, most valuable coins are mistaken for trash. People toss them, give them to kids, or cash them in at Coinstar for less than a soda. Don't be that person. This is your chance to turn 1 cent into 6 figures. All it takes is knowing what to look for. You don't need to be a collector. You don't need to be an expert. You just need awareness and a few minutes of your time. Because hidden treasures don't always come in gold bars or vaults. Sometimes, they're right there in your glove compartment. So here's the challenge. Check your change today. Search your drawers. Look at that 2002 D penny like you've never looked before. Because someone out there is, holding a $202,000 coin, and they don't even know it. Will it be you? If you want more secrets like this, coin strategies that could change your financial future, subscribe now. Turn on notifications, because tomorrow's tip might be worth $1 million. What if the smallest coin in your pocket was hiding the biggest secret of your life? What if a single penny, yes, just 1 cent, could be worth over $200,000 right now, and maybe even more tomorrow? This isn't some collector's fantasy. This is real. And someone, maybe you, has a 2001 Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark sitting in a drawer, in a jar, or buried under couch cushions, not realizing it's a gold mine in disguise. And the window to cash in is closing. Fast. I mean, when was the last time you actually looked at a penny? Probably when you were trying to avoid picking it up off the ground like, nah, not worth it. Turns out, it might have been worth your mortgage. So lean in. Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to spot a $200,000 coin from a worthless one, and how to turn your spare change into serious change. Let's take it back. The year is 2001. The world is shifting. The economy is rumbling. And the US Mint is quietly pressing billions of pennies, most of which were never meant to be special. But a rare few broke the rules. That's where the no mint mark 2001 Lincoln Memorial penny comes in. Normally, coins are struck with tiny letters, D for Denver, P for Philadelphia, S for San Francisco. They tell you where the coin came from. But in some ultra-rare cases, that mint mark disappears. And that's not a gimmick. It's an error. A stunning, valuable mistake. And when error meets scarcity, that's when collectors start throwing serious money on the table. So far, only a handful of these 2001 no mint mark pennies in pristine condition have surfaced in the market. One sold for a jaw-dropping $201,000. Imagine flipping a penny and it landing heads up on 6 figures. Now here's what you need to know. These high-value versions of the 2001 no mint mark Lincoln penny share very specific characteristics. Ultra-sharp strike, which means the details on Lincoln's face, jacket, and even his bow tie are crisp. High-grade red coloration. The copper still shines, almost untouched by time. Flawless fields, no scratches, no wear, no discoloration. It's as if time forgot this penny. No mint mark. That's the star. It appears blank under the date on the obverse. Basically, it's a penny that's had better skincare than most of us. And here's the cliffhanger: even circulated versions not in perfect condition have sold for thousands. But why? What makes this one penny so valuable when billions were minted? Let's talk scarcity, grading, and the one thing that could make your penny worth a fortune. Scarcity alone isn't enough. The secret is in the grading, how perfect the coin is. Grading is done by professional services like PCGS and NGC, and the highest rated coins, those MS67 or better, are like finding a unicorn in your piggy bank. Out of millions of 2001 pennies, only a few dozen have ever achieved top grades without a mint mark. That's what drives the 6-figure sales. And as demand rises and supply dries up, those values climb. And here's the part no one tells you. This isn't just about the money. It's about hope, about the thrill of discovery, about that moment when something small, forgotten, even dusty, turns out to be priceless. People just like you, grandparents, single parents, veterans, everyday folks, have stumbled upon coins worth more than their cars, their rent, even their retirement accounts. So now the question isn't whether these pennies are out there, it's whether you have one. And whether you'll find it before someone else does. Go check your coin jars. Yes, even the one collecting dust in the garage. Grab a magnifying glass, a soft cloth, and good lighting. Look under the date. No mint mark? You might be in luck. Then, if it looks untouched, get it graded. Immediately. And before you go, hit subscribe because we're revealing more hidden gems, coins that are secretly worth thousands, even millions. Don't let a $200,000 penny slip through your fingers again. Remember, every fortune starts somewhere. Sometimes, it starts with a penny. What if I told you There's a 1-cent coin sitting in a dusty drawer right now. That could buy you a luxury home, a brand new Tesla, and still leave you with $500,000 in the bank. No, this isn't clickbait, this is real. And it all starts with a 1995 Lincoln Memorial penny. Specifically, one with a small D mark under the date that you've probably seen dozens like it in your change jar. But one of them might be worth $995,000. And the crazy part, most people throw it away, having no clue they just lost nearly $1 million. Wait, hold up, a penny worth almost $1 million. What did Lincoln sign it with? His tears. But here's the truth, if you've got one, and you know what to look for, your entire life could change by the time you finish this video. Stick around, because in the next 10 minutes, I'll show you what makes this specific penny a goldmine, how to spot it with your naked eye, and how to sell it safely without getting ripped off. Let's dive in. 1995. The Denver Mint struck over 7 billion Lincoln pennies. Most were ordinary, just copper-plated zinc. Cheap, disposable. But somewhere in that massive production run, something went wrong. A rare, microscopic doubling error occurred, and it wasn't caught. The result? A double die obverse, a rare misprint that caused Lincoln's profile and letters like Liberty and In God We Trust to appear ever so slightly duplicated. This wasn't intentional, that it was a minting fluke. A quiet mistake buried under billions of coins. Think about it. A single error, 0.1 accidental misalignment, and a piece of metal becomes a generational legacy. That's the origin of the $995,000 penny. The 1995 D with the rare doubling, especially one in pristine condition, has become a legend in numismatic circles. Collectors pay staggering sums. Why? Because less than 1 in a million were struck this way. Even fewer have survived in mint state condition. And here's the kicker. You might already have one, and I'm not saying that for drama. People have found these in old piggy banks, in sidewalk cracks, and parking meters. A woman in Phoenix pulled one from a cereal box coin jar. She sent it in for appraisal. It came back M's 67 grade. That's nearly flawless. 2 weeks later, it sold for $995,000 at a private auction. So, what exactly should you look for? Grab a magnifying glass. Look at the front of the penny, the obverse. Focus on the word Liberty. Do the letters seem doubled? What about In God We Trust? Does it look like a ghostly echo is sitting just behind each stroke? Next, check Lincoln's eye, nose bridge, and jawline. Doubling will appear subtly, like a shadow whispering behind the original strike. If it looks like Lincoln had too much coffee and is vibrating in place, you may be onto something. Now, flip the coin. If it has a D mint mark under the year 1995, you could be holding history. But here's the twist most people miss. Even if you find the right doubling, there's one deadly mistake that could make your coin worthless. Let's talk about it. Before you cash out, you need to protect your find. Step 1. Get it graded. Send your coin to a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll examine it under high-powered tools and assign it a mint state rating. The higher the number, especially MS65 and above, the higher the payout. But don't clean the coin. Don't polish it. Don't even wipe it with your shirt sleeve. Many hopeful collectors have destroyed $100,000 plus coins trying to make them look new. Let the professionals handle it. Step 2. Choose the right way to sell. Private auctions. High-end coin dealers. Certified collector networks. Never sell to a random pawn shop or sketchy online buyer. That's like selling a Picasso at a yard sale. Now here's where it gets real. Imagine waking up tomorrow with a verified $995,000 coin in your name. What would you do? Buy that dream cabin in the Rockies? Take your grandkids to Disney first class? Pay off the mortgage, medical bills, and retire early? It's not a fantasy. It's a decision waiting in your coin jar. And the best part, you don't have to be a professional collector. Just someone with curiosity and a good eye. If you're still watching, you just might be the next person to find $1 million penny. So go check that coin jar. Look closely. And if you discover something, let us know in the comments. Hit subscribe for more hidden treasure stories, expert tips, and the real secrets hiding in plain sight. Your fortune might already be in your pocket. All it takes is a second look. What if I told you that right now? Sitting quietly in your junk drawer, under a couch cushion, or buried in your old coin jar, There could be a single penny, just one, worth almost $1 million. Yes, a 1992 Lincoln penny, a single cent, worth $992,000. And here's the kicker. This isn't some ancient colonial relic or gold coin locked in a museum. It's a modern, 1992 D-Mint Lincoln Memorial Cent. A coin millions ignored. Until now. But why this penny? Why 1992? Why the Denver Mint? And most importantly, how do you know if you have one of the rarest coins in the country? Don't blink. Because in the next few minutes, we'll decode the mystery that could put you in a room full of auctioneers, flashing cameras, and a six-figure payday. You might be thinking, really? A penny? My coffee costs more than that. Yes, and your coffee doesn't come with a $992,000 bonus. But this coin might. Let's dive into what makes this small copper piece of American history a silent treasure. The secret behind the 1992 D penny. In 1992, something strange happened at the U.S. Mint. A small handful of Lincoln Memorial pennies minted in Denver were struck with a proof-style close AM reverse design. That might sound technical, and it is. So let's break it down. On normal 1992 pennies, the A and M in America on the reverse side are spaced apart, a design that's clear to the naked eye. But on this rare variant, they are almost touching. This detail was never meant to be released to the public. It was a die meant for proof coins only, the kind struck with high precision for collectors. But by accident or oversight, that design made it onto regular circulation coins, and when collectors discovered the error, the coin world lit up like wildfire. But here's the twist. Only a few of these 1992 D close AM pennies have ever been found. Less than a handful. And one of them recently sold for $992,000 at auction. Think about that for a moment. 1 cent found in change, turned into life-changing wealth. Now you're thinking about your childhood piggy bank. Huh? We all are. But this isn't about nostalgia. It's about opportunity. And yours might be sitting in a Ziploc bag right now. How to spot, sell, and secure the fortune. So how do you spot one of these life-altering coins? Here's what to do, and do it today. 1992 at the D mint mark, just below the date, confirms it's from Denver. Focus on the word America. Look at the A and M. If they're spaced out, it's ordinary. But if they're almost touching, you may have struck gold. Or in this case, $992,000 worth of copper-plated zinc. Now, if you think you've found one, stop everything. Don't clean it. Don't sell it on eBay. And definitely don't tell your neighbor who always loves old coins. Because one wrong move, and you could lose hundreds of thousands. Instead, get it professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC. They authenticate and assign value. And this next part is crucial. Auction it through certified numismatic dealers only. These are the people who get your coin in front of the right eyes, the ones holding six-figure checks. This isn't just about a coin. It's about the power of overlooked value. It's about turning something ordinary into the extraordinary. 1 penny. A chance. A transformation. Every drawer you open, every coin you hold, could be a quiet miracle waiting to be discovered. We chase success in all the big places, stocks, real estate, business. But sometimes, wealth hides in the smallest, dustiest corners of your life. Literally a penny. If this story made your heart race just a little, if you're heading to your closet, coin jar, or attic right now, then hit that subscribe button, because this channel is your guide to rare coins, hidden value, and the millionaire lifestyle waiting beneath the surface. Comment below if you've got a 1992 penny, and I'll walk you through the next steps. And remember, next time someone drops a penny and doesn't bother picking it up, you'll know something they don't. Because to you, it's not just change. It's a chance. What if I told you, right now, you could be holding a nearly $1 million treasure in your hand and never even know it? A plain, brown penny, and no shine, no mint mark, just ordinary. Until it isn't. The 1990 no mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny has shocked collectors. Why? Because one was sold for $990,000, and that wasn't a fluke. It was a mistake. And mistakes, in the world of coins, mean money. Big money. Now ask yourself this: have you ever tossed a penny into a jar? That could have paid off your mortgage? That could have bought you a new house. In cash? Stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for. and you might never look at your change the same way again. Don't say I didn't warn you if you start shaking your piggy bank after this. Let's start with the basics. In 1990, the U.S. Mint produced hundreds of millions of Lincoln pennies. Most of them had a tiny S, D, or P, the mint marks that tell us where the coin was made. But a small number slipped through with no mint mark at all and were struck at the San Francisco Mint, where proof coins are supposed to be perfect. Now here's the twist. These weren't regular circulation coins. They were meant to be proof coins, collector grade with high-quality details and a mirror-like finish. So how did a rare, no mint mark proof penny end up in the wild? Simple. A minting error. A slip of human judgment. One moment of oversight turned into nearly $1 million in value. But here's the part no one tells you. To the untrained eye, it's just a shiny penny. But here's what trained collectors are desperately hunting for: an mint mark under the year 1990. A mirror-like finish on both sides. Typical of proof coins, razor-sharp details on Lincoln's face, jacket, and the memorial building edges that look clean-cut, not worn or faded if you have to squint like you're checking expiration dates on medicine bottles. You're doing it right. Now here's where it gets urgent. There are still undiscovered 1990 no mint mark proof pennies circulating. Yes, they could be sitting in your drawer, hiding in your tip jar, or forgotten inside that old coin roll from grandma. And with demand surging, collectors are offering up to $990,000 for verified, pristine versions of this coin. Let's get serious for a moment. In 2012, one of these rare, no mint mark 1990 pennies was graded by PCGS as a proof 69 deep cameo, almost perfect condition. It sold for $990,000. That's not just rare. That's record-breaking. And with time, scarcity increases, which means every year that value goes up. You're not just holding a coin. You could be holding an appreciating asset. A legacy. So the question is, what will you do with this information? Will you ignore the old jar of coins gathering dust on your shelf? Or will you grab a magnifying glass and start your treasure hunt? The world is full of people who missed out, who threw away what could have changed their lives. Don't be one of them. You don't need to be a coin expert. You don't need fancy tools. You just need curiosity and a bit of luck. But here's the thing. Luck favors the informed, and now you are. Imagine you find that one coin, you get it graded, and a month from now you're sitting across from a buyer offering close to $1 million. What would you do with that kind of money? Pay off debts? Retire early? Take your family on that dream vacation? It all starts with one penny. 1 moment of awareness. 1 second that changes everything. If you want more tips on coins that are quietly turning regular folks into millionaires, subscribe, like, and check out the next video where we reveal another penny currently selling for over $1.50 million. This journey has just begun. Your fortune could be one coin away.